Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Chats with Chaudhry. I hope you're safe and well. Today, I'm going to be talking about a new technology, which is 3D leak detection for pharmaceutical blister packs. And joining me today is Paul Smith, who's Managing Director of Sepha, who is the company who's launching this new technology. So, Paul, lovely to see you. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well. Thanks for being able to chat with us, Ron. I think the last time we met was maybe in 2018, so time's flying, I think.
It, it is, yeah. It was a chemo actually in God, was it Munich or Dusseldorf? I can't remember actually. It was a big show. I remember that. My feet were killing me walking around that show. But yeah, lots changed since then. Obviously, we're going to be talking about this new technology that you guys have launched this week. But before we start doing that, for those people who are not familiar with Sepha, perhaps you could give them a quick overview of the business and also your background as well.
Yeah, no problem. This year, actually, Sepha has celebrated its 40th year. And I think throughout that time, one of the key things to the business and what we do here is basically ensuring product safety and drug safety. From manufacturer and in the pharma companies to the end user. Whether it's an aspirin for a headache or a really serious and important drug for somebody in the field, or for a hospital setting or a cancer setting or whatever. It's really important that those drugs arrive safely and uh, with good efficacy, essentially. And that's essentially what Sepha is about. And we provide products in 4 key areas: leak detection products for various container types, blister packs, as you mentioned, ampules, vials, pouches, pre-filled syringes, blow-fill seal, various bottles. So that's probably our core part of our business. We also then do blister packaging machines, essentially for low volume packaging. So if you want to do some blisters for stability trials or low volume, we can provide the equipment to do that. We also provide deblistering equipment, which separates the product from the packaging. And we provide a lot of services as well, not just the physical products. We can do low volume contract packaging if it's required, feasibility testing services, design services, and consultancy services. So we cover a range of things, but I believe here that the team here are quite experienced over those 40 years to carry out all of that work. And I guess my role here is really probably one of custodian, being a company of 40 years. Myself and the team here try and come in every day, make the company a better place, and provide better products and services for all of our customers. And I guess that's our goal, really, as we move forward into the next 40 years.
Right. So obviously, last time we met was 2018. A lot's happened since then, particularly over the last 9 months or so. So how have you as a business managed the whole situation around the pandemic in terms of both your staff, but also in terms of supporting your customers through that period?
Yeah, we have not been unaffected by the pandemic. We've had to change and pivot how we do things. We have guys in Sepha who are assembling equipment, doing packaging runs, guys who are designing change parts, tooling, designing new customized machines. And they really are hands-on. They need to design them, get the parts in, and do a lot of assembly. So those guys we've tried to really protect, if I'm honest, because they're serving their customers at the end of the day and getting the goods out the door. So anybody who can work from home, we've asked them to work from home. We've invested in new IT infrastructure, new sound and video equipment to enable not only for our staff to work from home, but also to service and engage with their customers on a professional way, which I think now we've all become accustomed to over the last 8 months. So it's been a difficult one, but it's something I think we've managed very well, and I must commend not only our own staff but our partners and suppliers who enable us essentially to continue to provide the products and services as they're needed, especially within the pharma industry. It's critical. The pharma industry will be at the forefront of of overcoming the pandemic, and we are very privileged that we can play a part in that, and also feel very fortunate that we haven't been as impacted as other industries have.
No, I agree 100% with that, actually, and well said. So let's talk about leak testing. For those people who are not familiar with the concept of leak testing, and particularly in relation to blister packaging, why is it so important to test or leak test blister packaging in the first place?
Well, there are various reasons. You know, if we look at the majority of the projects that we work on, there's two, or maybe in recent years, a third real reason why guys want to invest in leak detection technology, particularly non-destructive leak detection technology. Number one, it's deterministic. You know, it provides a quantitative result for the test, compared to some of traditional methods, which would be subjective. You know, you depend on the operator to make the decision what is good and what is bad. We're using instrumentation essentially to measure what is good and what is bad. So that's a key factor, and that from a quality point of view and from a regulatory point of view for the end user, for the pharma companies, they can ensure that they can keep a good record of all the testing they've done in the batches before they're released, and they have all of this information at hand as and when they need it, and they know that they're getting quantitative results. And also, essentially, as part of that quantitative results and measurement is technology is a lot more sensitive, the modern technology, compared to the traditional methods such as water bath or bubble test or whatever. We can get much more accurate readings on what if there's a leak or not in the pack. So really, from a quality point of view, and the second one obviously would be because it's non-destructive from a return of investment point of view. Obviously, if you've got a highly expensive drug, and you are maybe producing small batches of it, maybe large batches, the efficiency and the yield you get from that batch is critical to ensure that drugs are expensive to develop. It means the companies can ensure that they're not wasting product. And in more recent times as well, what we're seeing is more environmental and green projects. We've done a project recently in Germany, and the key rationale of that project was because it was environmentally more friendly to leak test non-destructively with our equipment. That was quite an interesting and nice project to work with. From you're not wasting the product, and you're not having to incinerate the product, which maybe has active ingredients in it. You're not disposing of the materials. And it's just a lot less expensive in terms of the after. If you leak test traditional methods, after that you really need to spend a bit of money to destroy those products that are going to the bin. So.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about the 3D leak technology that you've developed. There obviously are a number of established leak tests for blister packs already. So why did you decide to develop this technology?
Yeah, it's a good question. We've had our own products for leak detection of blisters. I think throughout the 20 years that we've been testing blister packs, we've had those different models, and each of them have had real benefits. We started out with the blister scan maybe 20 years ago, and what we were finding was a lot of guys had various blister packs, but they needed to buy tooling every time for that machine. So we tried to come up with a toolless concept, and we were able to do that through the existing vision scan model. But what we found, using VOC, or voice to customer feedback, we were quickly being told, look guys, it's a great machine, it does what it says in the tin. However, can you get a bigger test area? Can you interact with our internal networks and servers in a better way? Can you make the HMI easier to use for the operator? And also, what we were finding on some occasions was the variations in print and on some of the foils. meant that we had to tweak methods from pack to pack. And customers told us that if we had a more if we could basically set up a machine that didn't have to deal with the pack patterns, and it had all those other functions and features that I mentioned previously, then it would be something that they would be really keen on going into the future. So we took all that on board. We came up with a completely new type of technology, we believe. It's a 3D sensor, but it incorporates essentially technology that projects a point cloud to provide topographic, quantitative measurements of a surface.
Right.
And using the tried and tested methods of vacuum and pressure deflection method, we can really profile accurately throughout the whole surface of the pocket in a blister pack the movement. There's maybe up to 1 million data points per pocket, and we're measuring that in a quantitative way. So that new type of sensor that we've worked on will revolutionize essentially how we measure the movement of containers under various conditions, be it vacuum or pressure. So it's quite interesting, and I must commend my colleagues here because they've done a fantastic job productionizing this technology, and we're very proud of it.
Right. And in terms of its applications, because it is new technology, I know you've been doing some webinars this week and a few weeks ago. What's the feedback been from people in terms of the technology? And have there been other sort of applications which have arisen because of the feedback you've got, which you hadn't thought of before?
There has been, yes. It's been really good. The feedback's been really good. Some people, existing customers, have joined in the webinars. They've asked some really good questions, particularly about the length of the test cycle. For example, does it change? Was a question we get often asked. The size of the test area. We in this product we try to ensure that if you're on a blister line and you take the full index or the full sealing and platen plate, that area, we try to ensure that if you're creating blisters in one go, that we could get all those blisters into the test cycle, so that the test cycle is representative of the full platen plate or sealing plate on the blister line. So discussions like that have come up, and we've been able to communicate to the guys and reinforce the guys, look, yes, we've taken that on board, what you previously discussed with us, and the feedback has been really, really positive from the webinar, and we were pleasantly surprised actually at the success of the webinars, and it's probably something we'll do in the future as well.
Right. And in terms of, as I said, the applications, I mean, can you see this technology being applied to different other types of testing, types of packaging as well?
Yeah, I mean, the obvious, the low-hanging fruit for us because of our heritage in blister packaging was to utilize this technology first in blister packaging. I think going into 2021, possibly early to the middle of the year, you will see some applications for strip packs and sachets as well. Now we have actually done some custom projects with the technology as well. We worked with some beta customers, and the standard machine, for example, does blister packs up to 13 millimeters deep, 14 millimeters deep. But we have built some custom machines for diagnostic kits, for example, and those trays and diagnostic kits were up to maybe 250 mil deep. So we have the ability to do various container types, and we've built some custom machines already for real customers and projects today. And in the future, you will see more of that, especially for strip packs, sachets, as I mentioned, and then also if there's containers with flexible lidding in whatever manner, medical device trays or whatever. So you will see more, yeah.
Okay. And in terms of the current methods used and then using this, is there a difference in price if you're using this method compared to, say, a more of a standard method people have historically used?
Yeah, obviously there is when you have a high tech piece of kit, there's going to be a cost for that. But if you look at the investment that's made over time in terms of operator, uh, their time will be more efficient from an operator point of view. You're not wasting product that you've had to spend a lot of money developing, or that you're trying to pack for someone else. Um, yeah, the materials, the cost of incineration, of destruction. Whenever you factor all of those things in, it really does pay for itself in a quick way in terms of traditional methods. But also on the back of that, as I mentioned earlier in the call, it's the peace of mind, it's the quality assurance that these types of machines provide for customers and pharma companies. It's I always say to my guys, like, if you can provide a product or service that the customer is going home and sleeping easy at night, that's where we want to get. We want to be the last thing that people think about, essentially, when they go home. So that's what we're trying to achieve, and that's why there's often a difference between the cost.
Fine, fair enough. So if people do want to know more information or get a demo of the product, how can they go about doing that?
Yeah, we have various ways you can do that. You can come directly onto our website, sepha.com. You can inquire through there. There's info@sepha email address. You can also email us directly. You can find us on LinkedIn. We have our own LinkedIn homepage, and we often put in new product developments and news and events on that. And yes, we've got a nice YouTube channel as well, so you can get us on there. And yeah, anytime you're doing any interviews for us, we can get the guys dialing in for that. But in particular for this new machine, we will have an on-demand video that explains the technology and gives a live demonstration. So if anybody has particular interest in that new technology, that will be available, and hopefully you'll share it yourself. But otherwise, we'll be promoting it amongst our own team.
Fantastic. Well, all those links that you mentioned will be above the video, so people can click through that and find those quite easily. And I know the webinars that you've done over the last few weeks will be available on demand as well. So again, if they're available, then those links will be above this video as well, so people can click on those and find out that. So Paul, all I can say is it's lovely to see you again, mate. Thank you very much for giving me an overview of the technology. I wish you lots of success. I'm guessing you've already had some orders in, given that you were beta testing it before the webinars and everything as well.
Yes, the official launch was this week, but we've been pleasantly surprised about the uptake of the machine with some of the beta sites. So yeah, the machine's available today. If you want one. So
all right, well, I'll remember to put my order in. That'll be good. So yeah, fantastic. Well, look, as always, it's been lovely to see you. As I said, it's been a long time since we actually caught up face to face. So it's lovely to see you again anyway since Akima. Hopefully, and people don't know this, but Paul, like me, is a Man United fan. I say United because there's only one United. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get the draw next week and carry on in the Champions League. Yeah. But as I say, it's been lovely to see you. Look after yourself. I hope you found that useful, people. As Paul has said, there's lots of ways to find out more about the new technology. You can check out all the links which will be above the video. You can message Paul directly via LinkedIn. You can put comments below the video as well. If you've got any questions for Paul, I'm sure he'll be happy to answer them as well. And as I say to everyone, always at the end of these, Paul, thank you very much for your time. And thank you for watching. And as always, until next time, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.